hey, it looks like this is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing.
To say all that, man, the fear came over me like, dang, so what do I do now? Like, what's next?
How do you understand what God's will is?
I never broke the bank as a player, so it's
Yeah.
not like I could do nothing for the rest of my life.
And sometimes I think the thing that is put in front of us, God has already, it's right in front of you.
Yeah,
Just go get it.
yeah.
Yeah, so this conversation, part 2
Mhm.
of the last one. Thanks for having the last one.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say on the pod, T Wade, if you're watching, bro,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Jeremy said it'd be a good conversation. So I
Lock in,
think
T.
Prince
Wade.
too. Prince, you out there? I mean, I know you busy, dog, but
Mhm.
it's a worthy conversation.
Yeah.
You'd said something on, is it the Golf and Gospel pod or was it
Yeah,
someone
Golf and
else's?
Gospel podcast. Yep.
So I was listening to that. I saw a clip and you talked about, I think you used the word fear.
Yeah, that was part of it.
And
yeah.
saying you don't really have fear, but maybe concern.
Mhm.
And we talked last time, and I think the biggest thing that I was trying to understand then was, in many cases, just the story, just because we haven't known each other that long.
Mhm.
We hooped together,
Mhm.
played golf,
Yep.
loved the game.
Mhm.
But then as you started the golf and gospel journey and then started shooting, we got to shoot there, shared my story about our
Mhm.
miscarriages and what that was like. And I think that kind of opened the door to like
For
the
sure.
relationship that's building now.
Mhm.
So part of it was just, learning more about you, the story, you're a league vet. And that means a lot. Obviously there's a lot going on with NIL. So part of it was
Yeah.
understanding some of the business behind that, what you did and didn't know, some of the
Mhm.
things you wish you might have done better.
For
We
sure.
can talk more about that too. But then I saw that and I was like, you know what, that to me, and I think one, we're in a conversation today. There's a sort of like national, maybe global conversation around men's health. So we had mental health before, but I think the state of men and manhood is a pretty large conversation today. And I think when it comes to athletics, it's typically an environment where men don't often display a ton of vulnerability. So when I
For
saw
sure.
that,
Mhm.
I was like, yo, that's a pretty vulnerable thing you're saying.
Right.
And that was just interesting to me, just from, again, the circles we typically come from that, again, not necessarily as always. I think there's sometimes a presumptive sort of rap for men. It's just like, yo, it's all machismo.
Mhm.
And sure, there's bravado, there's that piece of it. But I think there's more to the story than just somebody trying to have a big chest.
Yeah.
But the way you're explaining that was, again, something that kind of piqued my interest. So I was interested to hear more about that and then sort of let that lead the conversation. So if you could just sort of
Yeah.
frame that again and kind of talk about what you were talking about then and
Yeah.
the context around that, and
For sure.
we'll take it from there.
I mean, it all started with me talking about a situation that I was hoping that would have happened, and it would have set me and my family up. And I exhausted my prayers.
What was that
And,
situation?
I can't speak on it.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like bad or anything. But I just know other players who do this and stuff. But
Got it.
some get awarded, some don't. And I exhausted my prayers, praying in my closet, and the Lord saw me and he said no. So it was a bit
Like you felt to know, or
no,
it just didn't happen?
It didn't happen. So I know that the Lord
Got
saw me
it.
and he said no, maybe no at this time. I don't know if he'll allow it to happen later, but at the end of the day, the answer was no.
Got it.
So let me just use the term, this fear came over me like, shoot, like, what do I do now? I know I have a lot of skill sets, a lot of talents.
Mm-hmm.
And people who know me love the game of golf. Golf has been something that has allowed me to compete. It's been an enjoyment, not only in playing, but also in discussing. Like, I nerd out about it. But obviously getting my foot in those doors are going to be super hard because I'm an NFL guy, not a golf guy. But to say all that, man, the fear came over me like, dang, so what do I do now? Like, what's next? And as I'm just reading the word and stuff, because as upset as I was with the sovereign decision of the Lord, I still know that his word is a safe place.
Mm,
So then I went to his word, came across Psalm 56:3, and it says, when I fear, I put my trust in the Lord.
mm,
And I wouldn't say that I was questioning trusting the Lord or anything like that. But I think the thing that came to my head is just like the curiosity of what's next, because I'm a very work driven guy and I want
mm,
to start to work towards whatever the Lord has for me and pursue that. And because he hasn't made that clear to me yet, that's where the fear aspect comes into play. But it's like, how can I still trust you in the midst of this?
mhm,
I think a lot of people love talking about the transition of athletes, more so the superstar, when they move on, like a Tom Brady who's doing great with broadcasting and
mhm.
obviously part owner of the Raiders. And then you have guys on the lower end, like, those opportunities are always afforded to you because I was a back end of the roster guy. So to get my foot in certain doors, it's not really as appealing as if Tom Brady wanted to do it. Or if I was just a current player, I forgot which player it was, I think for the Panthers. He had like this opportunity to go do something with the PGA.
Mm.
And if I was a player still, it's like, man, I would love that opportunity. But saying like, yo, I'm Geremy Davis, a former NFL player, not as sexy.
It just don't hit the same.
Doesn't hit the same. So if I would have hit them up like, yo, I would love this opportunity to like do this, probably won't happen.
Mm,
And like I said, as a former guy, I'm 33 now. And when you're looking to like learn certain skill sets, because like when you're a former player, you're behind the eight ball learning all these other things. All we know is football for the most
mhm,
part. So you don't have your opportunity to learn other skill sets. So now when you're done and you're trying to like maybe go do an internship or something, they're like, oh, we want a guy currently in college or fresh out of college. It's like, I'm well removed, bro.
mhm.
Um, so that's where that fear aspect comes in. But it's like, do I still trust in the Lord's provision? Do I still trust He's good? Absolutely. I think where I might wrestle with the fear is like the patience of when you're going to put me in whatever you're calling me to do. I just kind of hope to see that soon. So I was just super vulnerable. Like, yo, this is a fear of mine. Um, I think a lot of people deal with this though, but His word's a safe place. He's a safe place, and I just felt like I should run there.
Do you know athletes right now who currently are struggling with the same thing? Like
Yeah,
what does the fear really anchor in the sense of,
the unknown.
is it just the unknown, or is it like I don't know where money's coming from? I like,
Yeah,
or is it like I like the idea of competition and just knowing the next thing. I mean, that might be the unknown part, but
that
then there's
that's
like a
that's the
financial part
thing.
too.
That's an unknown for sure. Well, yeah, the financial part, and I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm not broke or anything. I got money. But it's just like I never broke the bank as a player. So it's
Yeah.
not like I could do nothing for the rest of my life. It's gonna come to a point where I have to do something. And even with that, I don't want to just be sitting here lazy. I want to pursue something. Yeah, I pursue Golf and Gospel. Golf and Gospel podcast hasn't been monetized yet. Close. Golf and Gospel is close. But I'm just so driven, bro. It's like I wanna work some that, has some type of stability in terms of income. Like I want to be able to service my wife. She's going back to school, which I have been servicing that. But I want to be less rigid about like, but I guess I can't do this, so I can do that and whatnot. Um, so yeah, it's just the unknown. Like I got homeboys who make a lot of money and they are good for the rest of their life, but they still want some type of stability just to do
Yeah.
something and pursue something.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of my friends that I know that do love Jesus, we're just in this waiting period, like,
Mm.
Lord, show us the way. Or for me personally, it's just like, okay, well, I will go pursue this, but I don't want to pursue anything that's outside of your will. I don't want to follow my own desire. Um, my hope is obviously you delight in the Lord. He give you desires of your heart. I hope that my desires are his desires. But you're waiting for something to click to be like, there it is, and I can pursue it, and I can start to like grind and have that football mentality to build towards that. But a lot of us we just don't know what that is yet, and it's fear.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because I think about in the waiting period, how are you staying? It sounds like what you're looking for is some degree of momentum, like a
Yes,
signal
yes, for sure.
that, hey, it looks like this is the thing
Hmm.
that I'm supposed to be
Or
doing.
however God wants to tell me.
Right.
Yeah,
But I wonder how much is involved in you just putting your hands to the plow and
Sure.
grinding,
For sure.
and that being the place where God will actually find you and then confirm or deny
Yeah.
that direction.
Yeah.
Like, how do y'all think through that piece of it?
Well, I'll say for me, I'm not gonna talk for everyone else, but I think that's the guys not got confusion, but I guess that's just the tug of rope argument I have in my head. Like,
Mhm.
do I be still and wait for you, or are
Mhm.
you telling me to grind, and then this comes from it? Because like I just referenced before, I don't want to do something off my own will that's not in his
Mhm.
according to his ultimate sovereign will. My whole thing is like when we think about the Israelites. Hopefully, I do something. It's in His will. It takes me 2 weeks. I don't want to be going my own way, even though this is still promised to me. Now it takes 40 years. And now I'm elaborating. I don't know if whatever He has for me is going to actually take legit 40 years because then I'll
Mhm.
be 73.
Mhm.
But I just want to go in alignment of what He calls me to do and
Mhm.
just go in those proper steps that gets me to the promised land or whatever that career is for me.
Yeah.
So that's just my mindset with it.
How do you understand what God's will is? That's a big question, I know, but
Big time will, man. I mean,
there's a yeah,
in
I
terms
see,
of purpose, I don't know. Obviously,
yeah, but I
like
see the
like
wrestle of like I want to do something, but I don't know if it's in God's will, and the reason why I kind of want to press on that a little bit
mhm,
is because I know, athlete or not, most Christians deal with that.
yeah,
There's something I want to do, but I don't know if it's in God's will.
yeah.
And I wonder how you think through that.
Well, see, this the
Like what
struggle
God's
is
will is.
yeah. The struggle is from a tangible perspective, from things that are intangible, like things in First Thessalonians 4, and he said, "This is the will for your life:
Your
sanctification,
sanctification.
Like that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, I know. But when it comes to like occupationally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. And like part of me, I forgot. I think the dude name was Don Davis. He works for the NFLPA. Cool cat.
Mm-hmm.
He said he went to go coach in the NFL for a year. He was like, it wasn't for him. And he doesn't want to be just labeled in this box to only be known as that.
Sure.
And I love football still.
Mm-hmm.
I love training guys. I
Mm-hmm.
love coaching high school because I get to also disciple
Mm-hmm.
while I'm coaching high school. I don't want to just stay in that box, you know. Now, if God calls me to do that, then I have a responsibility to be obedient to that. And I gotta go carry that out. But I think just for me, man, just some of the interests and stuff that I have this conviction, I hope is His will, is that like He's just saying not yet, it's just not right now, but you're grinding towards it and you're gonna see a harvest soon.
When you say you have a conviction, like, can you share what that conviction
So
is?
like I love what I do in the golf space. As of lately, it's been going super well. Like I sound very close to monetization. Not to say like, oh, this breaks the bank, but
Sure.
something to the point where it's like, man, you're close where this can
I'm starting to
possibly
score
become,
points.
yeah, where this can possibly be something that is stable for your family. Um,
Is that the goal? In the
for
sense
sure.
of
Yes.
when I think
You
about
talk
the
about entrepreneurship, absolutely.
right, right. It's like I want to do something that I could put my life into,
Mhm.
or at least put my effort into. I feel like there's something that I've been uniquely energized by,
Yes.
and I would love to pursue that in
Mm.
such a way that it provides the means
Yeah.
for me to both
Yeah.
do what I want to do for God and my family.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the hope.
That's sort
And
of like your heart's desire.
100%. And again, as I delight in the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and His desires, I'm hoping become my desires. And I hope that's what He really has given me. Now He could just be like, this is just for hobby for you.
See, this is my so
Go
here's my
ahead.
thing. What what is it that there's this thing in like circuitry called resistance. And whenever you pass like current through a circuit, sometimes you put things to like measure resistance and it feels like there is a like surge of energy towards something,
Hmm.
but then there's something in our lives that sort of like adds resistance. And and maybe this is a deep question too,
Please.
but I'm wondering what what causes that resistance? Because when you talk about what's happening in the golf space for you, and this happens for a lot of athletes.
For sure.
I relate this to a story of an artist that I went to school with, who was like, incredible artist. The artwork and the pieces. I remember
I'm thinking you're talking about music. Okay, so actual painting.
An
Oh,
actual like
yeah, yeah,
artist,
cool,
painter,
cool. Yeah.
both digital. He went to school for art direction,
Mhm.
but the work that he could do, the way he would visualize even stories in the Bible, I was like, his name was Chase. Chase, if you're listening to this, I'm still talking to you.
Shout out to the homie Chase.
But there was a degree where I was like, bro, do you understand the percentage of people in the world
Mhm.
whose lives have afforded them the kind of unique experience to be able to produce work like this,
Mhm.
right? And I've always been like, why trade that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what I often feel has been an over popularization of full time ministry, which I think is often a misunderstanding of what
Mhm.
even ministry is. We can get
Yeah.
to that conversation.
Yeah.
And I think a similar thing can happen with anyone.
Mhm.
You know, I particularly have a heart just being a former athlete, not like you, former athlete, but
Mhm.
just being in the athletic world.
Yeah.
My degrees in exercise science, working in
Nice.
strength conditioning.
Mhm.
Like, I love athletes. I think people should think more like athletes. Some
Mhm.
of my favorite passages in the Bible are about athletes.
Right.
Um, and there's just a unique thing that happens often after sport, after the organized ball ends, where you find yourself in this like limbo state
Yeah.
of like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
But there's often like this surge of there's something being passed through, there's this current, but then it meets resistance.
Yeah.
And I wonder what for you that is, whether it's teaching or something that's just like, but I hope,
Yeah.
versus like there's nothing that resists this sense of like, yeah, I do this. And again, like, you are delighting in the Lord. So what is
Yeah.
it that keeps adding this hedge to it?
I hope this answers the question. So, when speaking about golf and gospel, this is my thing. I truly believe the Lord put on my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a good thing, so good that I see other creators that know that I do it take that blueprint and make it their own.
Mm-hmm.
And because the status of who they are, it gets supported and it gets viewership. And
But yours doesn't.
huh?
But yours doesn't as much as it doesn't get as much
Not as
attention
much as
theirs.
them. No. It's growing though. But um there's a frustration with that because my flesh is like, dog, you literally commented on my video, said this is great, took it as your own, and
Mm-hmm.
now I see kind of the success in that space of this happening. However, in saying that, too, I also have this humility to see that if people are coming to Christ through their page, I can be happy because that's all I want to really do is trying to involve Christ in the golf space.
Mm-hmm.
If more people are doing it, then that's great. But the competitor in me is like, you stole this play from me, you're taking it as your own, and it's not fair. And I think that kind of answers your question, like, where's the hindrance? Because now people are going to feel like, well, I could just go and hear the gospel from this golfer or this creator as opposed to me. However, again, if they're hearing the gospel in pages, I have to die to that and be like, this is good that they're talking about Christ and hearing.
So is the resistance when you say like, I'm not sure if this is God's will for my life, in the fact that there's this sort of like the competitor in me, it feels like my competition is fleshly. Is that what it is?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And I think sometimes it does outweigh the humility, which is an issue, and I have to die to that consistently.
But that would be, I mean, you would have that in anything you do. Like as a coach, if somebody, was, if somebody took the credit for teaching somebody, the proper footwork, the way to use their hands, the way to run a certain route, and took that credit, and then they got rewarded for it instead of you, when you the one who put in the hours, you were the one meeting them after school, you were the one texting them, sending pictures, sending links to YouTube videos and Instagram, and you were doing all that, but then this coach just happens to do it in the space, and then might have a different relationship with the head coach, and then therefore he's getting the credit, he gets promoted, you don't.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of competition could happen because one of the things that you said was it's not fair.
Yeah. You know what? And yes, 100%. However, for some reason, why I feel it more in the golf space because like I birthed that. I mean, if someone can check and see if anyone else has been evangelizing in the golf space, I don't believe so. That's what convicted my heart to do so.
Hmm.
But because I feel like I'm a pioneer for evangelizing the golf space,
Like
uh,
doing it that way,
that
like
way, that
very
way,
explicit.
yes,
Like this channel is so that we can find ways to interview people and talk about how faith,
yeah, and seeing someone else take it or use it,
like on the YouTube space.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
that,
Because ministries have been out there, but not.
yeah. There's been people who will hold, that's what I'm looking for, like scrambles through their church ministries with golf and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. But like to make the platform an actual man, because I get a lot of pushback where people saying like, "Man, just go start a Christian page. Nobody want to hear this in golfing." I'm like, I did start a Christian page. I just so happen to be golfing on there. So because it was more so because like football training has always been there.
Yeah.
It's a copycat league. I mean, I'm learning that in the content space is a copycat league as well, but like
Spoiler alert, they're all copycat.
they're all copycat leagues. But in football, it's just like, all right, if I call, trips right, two jet, all hitch, and someone calls it, you know, twins right, uh, two rover, whatever, all stops, like same thing.
Yeah.
But I never like birthed that.
Got
This
you.
I felt like
You
I
feel like
birthed
it was your
and
baby.
yeah, and I do appreciate when people like see it and give credit to what the ministry is. But when people take it, I'm wrestling with that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's just like some people will give credit to like, yeah, man, we took this from the 1987 Kansas City Chiefs. I saw Andy Reid do this.
Mm.
None of those big time guys will give me credit, but that's where I have to die to, because it's like, do I want this credit or do I want Christ to have the credit? So that's why I'm like, I have to continue to die to this. And if people go to so and so's page, who's a way bigger creator than me, and they hear the gospel, amen.
So is that just a wrestle? That's a wrestle from a like character standpoint, like a formation standpoint. Like while I'm doing this, I want to make sure that I'm the proper representation of
100%,
like
bro.
who Christ is.
Yeah, but I want to be vulnerable to show that like this is where I'm failing at. Too.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. The other side, I think the thing that I'm trying to press on is the idea of whether or not something is in God's will simply because it is a sort of persistent passion inside you.
Could be.
Well, my I think my sort of argument would be it could be possible that you being made in the image of God and born again by his spirit,
all right,
and being someone who delights in the Lord,
yeah,
right, and every day always is trying to put to death the deeds of the body, trying to carry your cross and follow him, trying to read your scriptures and model, his character.
all right.
If in that environment there was birthed in you an idea that says, "Hey, I want to create a space where the conversation around gospel and kingdom and purpose and good life can be had," what would make you hope that it's in God's will, as opposed to see it as, I think this is God's will and it's just a matter of time?
I mean, I think obviously when things happen according to his will, well, I think when you get to conclusion, whatever trial, there is a comfort to know, not a complacency. I think there is a sense of contentment that comes
And
with
the
that
thing.
and the thing, and just the outcome of those things. But also just when it comes to those trials or that force that you're going against, to know that doesn't mean it's not. This is the thing where I kind of battle too. Like one of my homies got injured in the league, and I'm not a prophet or anything. I can't tell you what the Lord's doing. But we always, I've had this mindset too. But I'm just like, man, we don't know if the Lord's telling you to heal up and go ball out, and that's part of his story, to allow the injury to happen so you can overcome it, and now you can proclaim his name. Or sometimes you're getting hurt and he's calling you out. We've seen success stories where someone had a bad injury, they overcame the trial, you thought it was over, they go out and dominate. You've had, unfortunately, guys like a Ryan Shazier from the Steelers hurt his neck and barely walk, hoping that the reward would be look at me overcome this trial, but he's like, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I've said this prayer before in fear that, Lord, if you don't want me to do this, or if
Mm-hmm.
it's not in your will,
Take it from me.
take the desire away from me,
Mm-hmm.
please, please. And
Why do you pray that prayer?
because again, whatever I'm supposed to pursue,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hinder the timeline. I always think about the Israelites.
You don't
want
want
to
to waste time.
I don't, because they were just wandering, bro. It was supposed to take them 2 weeks.
Yes, it was supposed to take them 2 weeks.
And they were doing I was being disobedient, doing stuff according to their own will, which prolonged their promise.
Here's what's interesting about the people.
Mm-hmm.
The people did not wander because they tried to do something that was outside of God's will. That's not why they were sent wandering. They were sent wandering because God showed it to them. People went into the camp, they clearly saw it, and they believed the wrong report. Somebody came back and said, we can take it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to.
Right.
And then God said, okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think the thing that is put in front of us, God has already said, it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Just go get it.
Yeah.
Now, they would have had to go to battle.
For sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Right.
But out of fear, they did nothing. And so God said, you don't want to do anything? Okay, let's do nothing.
So then I would say at the same time, because you're right, I would say at the same time, that's still them making that conscious decision
to do nothing.
That hindered
to not do the thing
that
was put right in front of them to do. Right. Now, on the flip side, we don't have the kind of, the term is theocratic environment, right?
Sure.
That they were in.
For sure.
Right. Where they have this, prophetic is not, almost predictive, prescriptive.
Yeah.
Go and do this thing and this will happen.
Right.
Today we seem to live in a different environment. Some would argue it's not, it's actually not, because the Spirit lives inside us.
For sure.
We just don't know how to listen.
Right.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But I wonder sometimes if what we need today is more, this, and don't take this wrongly, just in case it comes out wrong, is more courage instead of confirmation. Such that something is put in front of us. There is a real, almost a validating, authenticating desire that says, I want to go do that for you.
Yeah.
But then other things, messages, other voices, something that I heard in my past seems to challenge what feels like is more confirming inside my person, in my inner person. And so then I might say, and this is not just you.
For sure.
But I mean, I heard this all throughout college. I've done it myself. I hope this is it. Like, I don't know. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to find myself doing something that isn't in the Lord's will. And people preach like this.
Yeah.
Right? Where I sometimes would ask, is it possible that maybe if we've missed the sort of like internal Spirit self-authenticating confirmation that says the thing in front of you is the thing you're supposed to do. You love it that much. People are being changed by it. Keep going. It's just, you don't know what the timeline looks like.
Yeah.
But even if we miss that confirmation, even if we miss that message inside, could it be that if we just have the courage and keep going, that maybe we'll discover that it was the Lord's will the whole time, but in hindsight?
Yeah, that happens. I don't want to use this out of context. I think obviously this was for the disciples explicitly, but when it says in John 13:7, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but later you will. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to use that context for this because it can be totally different. But I think there's still something to say about that. That when things were happening, they had no idea like what it meant at the time. Then later, it's like, oh, there it is. I think you can use the principles of that scripture and stuff now. But I do want to, just for the audience, just listen. I don't want you guys thinking I'm misquoting the context of scripture.
Don't worry about them, dog. They
they
can come get you in the comments.
I just want to make sure, man, because I never want to lead astray or look at a verse singular to make it mean something that it's not.
It's fine.
But so I just want to use that disclaimer.
Yeah, if
But
somebody come at you at the comments, I got heavy artillery for them. So
cool,
like,
cool.
but
But no, I
come get
think
you.
the thing with me is
Yeah.
like I haven't stopped. I'm still going.
Yeah.
I still have like this yearning to 'what's funny is, bro, I find myself loving talking about the LPGA more than PGA. But it's just like, how do I get this 6'3" black former NFL guy to like be in that space? But just trying to maybe find the courage just to go and ask. But in terms of like the golf and gospel, nothing has hindered me at all. I still pursue that. I still reach out to people, man. Like, you want to compete and share the gospel? Some people reach out to me like, y'all love to be a part of this. So there's no stoppage there. But yeah, I think just the fear of time, like, in how do I say this properly? 'Cause I'm not trying to make my story other people's story. I don't want any of that mix up.
Sure.
But every time I say, Lord, take this from me, if it's not for me, I promise you, bro, something always happens
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, keep going. I remember one time, my homie Sam Jensen never listened to this. He lives in Minnesota. He's part of Identity Sports.
Shout out to Sam Jensen.
Yeah. I was like, oh, should I just stop doing this? Sam was like, yo, what's good, bro? I don't know. I could probably find the text. He was like, bro, my buddy just saw your golf and gospel thing, bro. It's like very like, oh, and I was like, I guess I'll keep going. And then I had another thing, like, again, I need to stop letting myself get discouraged when I see certain things. And I had that feeling again. I'm like, Lord, if it's not from me, take it. My boy Tyra Williams, one of my best friends, my brother, dog, he said how his homeboy's son decided to get baptized after watching golf and gospel. I'm just like,
yeah, I hear things like that, and I just go, I'm trying to find a prayer in the Bible that sounds like, God, if this is not your will, take it from me.
I mean, no, that's not what he said.
It's not what he said. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And again, the thing that seems to, there's a concept called automatic negative thoughts.
Okay.
It's what I think people, I think it's what informs imposter syndrome, where people get into a space where they get into a season of life and they go, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I think that message isn't a message that's coming from God in a lot of cases, especially for the people who in those spaces are bringing goodness to the world. Right. There is a passage that I think a lot of people misunderstand in Matthew 5, in the context of loving your enemy.
For sure.
And God says, so that you might be sons and daughters of your Father in heaven, who does what? He brings rain on the good and the evil. Mm-hmm. He brings sun on the just and the unjust. Yeah. God is someone who brings good to all people. The world is better. The world is good because of God. That is Genesis 1.
Yeah.
We are made in his image. Mm-hmm. So if the thing that I am doing brings good to a space, and my intent, my deepest heart's desire, the source of my doing that thing is to bring goodness in that space. Yeah. Along that way, I can enjoy gladness. I have a lot of fun. Yeah. Like any messages that would consider that is a problem should read Ecclesiastes. It is a gift from God to do work and enjoy the fruit of that labor. Yeah. But I do think there are other messages. A lot of them come from our pastors and preachers that seem to suggest that doing work that isn't vocational ministry has a different value to God than vocational ministry. Right. I think that is deceptive.
For sure, 100%.
But it's happened for so long that it's created automatic negative thinking in people who want to pursue things that in large part help to create the goodness in the world for more people to understand who they are as beings made in the image of God, who can express that goodness in all these different ways because it's not standing behind a pulpit or volunteering or
100%,
et cetera.
Bro. I think it's in Romans 9 when he talks about how, like, we all have, in paraphrase, we all have a certain skill set. Some were made to be teachers, and some were made to be acts of exhortation. Some were made
Yeah.
to be givers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we all have a role to carry out in
Mhm.
the body of the church.
Even
But
faith is a gift,
yes, and
like someone's measure of faith.
yeah,
It's not all the same.
right. And it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be done behind the pulpit, or it does not make the goodness of your work less valuable, as you said, because I'm not saying it from a pulpit. So I like that. And I was telling my buddy that too, because he had this thought, like, he's on fire for Christ right now, and I'm so happy to see it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man, I just been having this conviction because like, am I supposed to be evangelizing and doing this? I'm like, that's probably not your role in the body, bro. And that's okay.
It's
Like, it's good
okay.
to have a heart to want to be able to, as it says in 1 Peter 3:15, to have a well-prepared defense for your hope.
Sure.
But doesn't mean like you have to go out with this evangelistic mindset to like go quote that scripture. It helps.
Yes.
But like, bro.
Now, again, remember, this is a defense for hope,
Hope.
which means
Mhm.
somebody sees something.
Mhm.
This is not apologetics. Which
Yeah,
is,
for sure.
This is like an axe I grind where
Yeah.
people use that verse and go, this is why apologetics is necessary. So we're going to go have debates. No,
Yeah.
there's a kind of hope, typically, which means you're enduring a kind of suffering
Yep.
that others would go, you should quit,
Yeah.
and you don't.
Right.
And then somebody says, why not? You should have a prepared response for that.
Yeah.
The reason
yeah.
why you endure
Yeah.
and the reason, like the response you have for the joy set before you
Mhm.
is the thing that is just native to your breath, such
Yeah.
that when somebody asks you that question, you can respond in a way that goes,
The Lord saved my
oh
marriage.
man, that God is in your midst.
Man, I had a bad drinking problem. The Lord has helped me die to that. Boom, right there. That is my hope.
Right.
I think, again, the artillery with scripture is just extra, but like,
Yeah.
that can be your hope. But yeah, but in saying that, like, that my boy just thought he was supposed to like go out there and evangelize, I'm like, probably not your position. You're trying to play quarterback when you're really a tight end. And a tight end is very important to a team.
It is.
It's same thing. I was joking with my wife about this. She was like, if I play football, what position would I be? Like a long snapper, because I'm just joking. She's not athletic at all. But it's just like the value of a long snapper is so important. They don't get a lot of credit. They're not as important as the quarterback, but they're still valuable. If you mess up that snap, team success goes down. The operation's messed up.
Bro, there's an analogy I like to use about the body. And a lot of people want to be the visible parts of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Paul talks about the eye and the foot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, your foot helps you walk.
Yeah.
Your eye helps you see. Your nose helps you smell. Your mouth helps you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue helps you taste. Ears help you hear.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those.
Yeah.
If I can't be that, I want to be the biceps because you can see those to make you look strong.
Right.
I want to be the quads, make your legs look big. I want to be the glutes because it gives you a figure or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine. A lot of people don't know about
That's
Ananias in the Bible. And he was the guy who God spoke to go talk to Paul to give him his sight back.
Yeah. It's a huge role.
Ananias is like the anterior cruciate ligament, which most people don't know is. Like, people don't know what that is.
ACL, guys.
It's the ACL. But for most people who love sports, right? They don't, if you were to say, so the anterior cruciate ligament, blew out, they'd be like,
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's like this long.
Yeah.
Like it isn't that long, right? And it's tucked inside
Yeah.
where you cannot see it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if it blows, you don't walk.
You cannot walk.
You don't walk.
Yeah.
Right? Let's not even, and again, this is just walking. We're not talking about explosion. We're not talking about jumping. We're not talking about power generation.
Yep.
We're not talking about any of that. Right? And somebody could use a different example of something else that's even less hidden.
Yeah.
But the thought is that because something isn't as visible doesn't mean it's not as valuable.
That's so good.
And I think we have to, and again, I think our leaders have to do better about teaching in a way that that sort of frees people to go, man, I have more options. Right? And the will of God for my life is as simple as saying, in everything that you do your best to be the image of God that you are.
Yeah.
Remember who you are.
Right.
And then go do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good, bro. And I think that obviously backs up my long snapper analogy. but I
Mhm.
like how you said like it's hidden and it's so small, but carries a lot of weight. Carries
Huge.
a lot of
Huge.
weight,
And a
bro.
lot of
So,
people, even like the trainers, would talk about like the idea of training connective tissue.
mm,
Like there are ways to make those things stronger.
yep.
It's like, no, I want to make the tendons and ligaments around my knees
Hmm.
stronger because I can generate more power from that.
Yeah.
Right. And oftentimes if you put too much emphasis on just training the quads and the hams, you'll still pull something.
Yeah.
You'll
Still
still
will.
tear
Yeah.
something because you aren't training it properly.
Hmm.
Right. And this is the reason why I think a lot of these body analogies and athletic analogies help so much, because it actually helps you see how much more you can do. So then, especially in sport, when you stop doing it, it's just like, man, but there's still so much more
Hmm.
you can do. And it might not be as visible as professional sport,
For sure. Yeah.
but man, the value
Yeah.
that is there. I'm interested in how you think about, especially considering visibility, speaking of,
Yeah.
what you think about the conversation around personal brand and all of that. Because
Yeah,
again,
for sure.
having a podcast, having
Yeah.
your own channel, and all these names that are out there doing things that are similar to you but getting more attention for it.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder your thoughts on
I mean,
personal brand.
I think obviously this has grown a lot more recently in professional sports.
It's everywhere.
Or it's more. It's easily just noticed because in reality, this has been going on for a while. Like, I love listening to the Nightcap. I love Shannon Sharp. I love Chad Johnson.
Mhm.
Chad Johnson said, "Man, I'm my brand.
Mm-hmm.
You know me for Chad Ochocinco." This is all before like social media became a thing.
This is true.
So it has incredible value. I think obviously our issue is when it comes to a brand or social media perspective is that we let the opinions that happen on there carry too much weight, even if it's super valuable.
The opinions on where?
Other people on social media.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
you know
okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Like
when someone has a platform, we give them too much.
There are only few podcasts I listen to. This one, Nightcap, I love Identity Sports, and I will say I don't listen to it as much, but I love it a lot. Southside Rabbi.
Oh,
But
okay.
my thing in saying that is this one's probably not as big as those other ones, but has
Nowhere near.
tremendous value. Has
Appreciate that.
tremendous value, bro.
Appreciate
And I think unfortunately sometimes numbers outweigh value. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he has 100K.
Oh, right.
This
Yep.
seems to be more valuable. It's like, it really isn't.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes the outside doesn't look like what it should be in regards to
Yeah.
the true inside of it. So I think brands are obviously amazing. I just hope that the brand has true purpose and identity in it.
Mhm.
And if that from an entertainment standpoint, if that's from a serviceable standpoint, just actually have some structure and like meaning to what you're doing, and not just like I'm gonna just do some goofy stuff. And I guess that provides entertainment, but there's no like true fruit in it, man.
Yeah.
Or like following trends. I don't think there's true fruit in that end because like it can help like this short-term growth. But now when we come to you for something else, it's like, oh, he's only hot off the trend.
Mhm.
It's like, man, I hope there's just true value in whatever brand that you're called to do. Just let it have full purpose and let it be valuable, because if you're just doing stuff for trend's sake, it's just gonna die off. And I hope people who reach out to certain creators or brands
Mhm.
really study the brand and not just be infatuated by the number.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I see 500,000 followers or subscribers, and this was a waste of time. It really had no value to it, but it just looks so pretty.
Yeah, something you said in the last conversation. Well, one, I think tell the truth, trust God with the results. I think
Mhm.
that's always just a good principle to follow. One of the things that you said in like the last time we talked was the way you used to study film
Oh man,
in high school.
yeah,
And even just thinking about what you said now, like for those who are trying to build something, there is immeasurable value
mm,
in studying, actually studying. So not
Yeah.
just looking,
mm,
but doing real study.
right,
Because one of the things I didn't understand as a young, like sports player, uh, is watching something with real intent.
Yeah.
Like even Bible study.
mm,
My the energy with which I used to study the Bible changed when I saw a buddy my age, Darrell Mitchell. Shout out to Darrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
Um, Studying the Bible with a kind of intent I hadn't seen somebody my age study the Bible with.
Yeah.
And it made me go, oh, I don't think I'm studying the Bible right. And it changed the way I read the Bible.
Right.
I had interest in the way people would handle it, but I didn't really read it that way. I didn't really understand how to read the Bible. And seeing him do that just woke up something different. And then our conversations changed. And then that set me on a different trajectory.
Right.
When it comes to business, personal brand, even trying to find clarity for what the future looks like, when I have a desire and I say, man, I think I want to do something, study is often a great place to start.
100%.
To go, if I want to build a channel, a YouTube channel, successful creators will tell you, go and study people who are doing something similar to what you
100%
to what you're doing.
For sure.
I mean, it was a large part of the reasons why. I'm even in Arizona. Is I'm trying to think about what do I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
And I go, is there anybody whose life looks like something along the lines that I want my life to look like?
Yeah.
And then I pursued those people to like build relationships with and say, hey, I see myself doing this one day.
Yeah.
I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Would you mind, playing this role? And obviously that was after some conversations where there's enough rapport and enough relationship to ask that question. Like, don't just walk up to somebody random and be like, yo, can you, play this role in my life?
Yeah.
But the idea of studying others who have come before you and recognizing tendencies, recognizing the small things that make big differences. Like Chris Paul would talk about tendencies in the way somebody responds to a jab, or this person's biased to this side or that side. Or I noticed this person's always shooting from these spots on the court. Or you might notice the way somebody comes off of a line, or you might notice the way someone shades, like one way or the other, how they open up, like what am I trying to make them do? And you realize like, oh, all of this is a game of chess, but I've got to learn how to play the game. I've got to understand what the game even is, what's the board, what's the landscape. And then I can start at least learning a little bit more about even the interest I have to then start to build courage to then start taking steps.
No, I love that, bro. When we talk about studying, because like I said, as you referenced my last podcast with you, like, yeah, bro, I used to study guys like Julio Jones, Demaryius Thomas, Larry Fitzgerald, even Brandon Marshall to a degree. And I make sure to credit those guys when I do something well. Like, if I do a really good release, I'm like, yeah, that's the Brandon Marshall pull-through release. Or that's the Julio Jones front foot jab.
That's good.
Same thing even when it comes to like speaking, my mannerisms, like on podcasts and stuff. I don't talk to guys as much as I used to and what I would like to, but like I used to study KB all the time, bro. I used to love just like his
KBHGA.
Yeah, okay. HGA. I used to study his mannerisms a lot because he had a certain swag where the gospel just seemed so attractive in how he was just speaking about it. I remember I started doing this with my hands a lot because I saw KB always doing it, but I'm just studying him because
shout out to KB and Southside Rabbi.
Absolutely,
you out
man.
there.
Him and the homie Amin.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I still had a strong relationship with him, but like he was a guy I studied all the time, even to a degree. Like I know in terms of character, they're totally different. But like Shannon Sharp, I love Nightcap. I study the success and stuff of what he's doing. So I just like what you said in regards to finding things that are successful and study those things. And I'm doing that. Even when it comes to YouTube golf, I would say I study the YouTube golf for the structure of my golf stuff, not the gospel at all. I would not go for them. So I do find those certain successful channels, but then it's like, okay, let me look how KB, why is it so attractive when he shares the gospel? Or don't watch this guy as much, but I do like him to a degree. Alan Parr, like the way he speaks about the gospel, like, but then also like put my personality into it. Cause like when it comes to football, I'm not Julio Jones. Had aspirations to be an inkling of him. But all right, study Julio Jones, but play like Geremy Davis.
Yeah.
But respect where you learned those tendencies and stuff from. So I love that when you said yeah, it's referencing back the importance of studying successful people
Yeah.
and and bringing that into your game and learn how to fail when doing that and having the humility. Like when you give me some takes, it's like I can take that accountability. I can
Mhm.
take that critique, bro. I think sometimes we're sensitive about we're so sensitive. If
Yeah.
someone says like, and especially even when we're talking about this NIL stuff and transfer portal, so sensitive because like
Yep.
that's why I would never coach college football because if I coach a guy and maybe my tone raises, which I'm not a natural yeller at all, but my tone
I
raises, they
am.
get sensitive,
Yeah.
enter the portal. It's like, bro, I just want you to run a better curl route.
Yeah.
Why are you? And now I
Yeah.
got to be like, hey, run the curl like this. It's just like,
Yeah.
so like we need to learn how to take critique when studying and stuff like that because as much as I watch Julio Jones, I might not run that route as perfected as Julio, but I'm okay if a coach with I don't want to get into like coaching I had in the NFL, but if I get a real coach
Yeah.
and he says, bro, run the speed cut like this, I can take that. I can take
Yeah.
that for sure. So I like that.
Yeah. I think again, there's so much value there without having to feel like you have to become who you're studying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there's a lot, I've read a lot of biographies and I read them for a small in between moment because
Mm-hmm.
those are the things you go, oh, that's like that was the linchpin. Like that was the
Mm-hmm.
thing that led to the formation of this person being the person that they are. And that's the thing that I want to learn to then say, oh, that's how I might be able to integrate something so that I can become the me that I'm supposed,
Right.
that I was created as.
Right.
Again, there's this analogy about the sequoias, which are the big redwoods in
Yep.
California.
Yep.
And people will say that everything that that tree was supposed to be, everything that that tree is in the seed,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just that, but it's all the experiences as the thing, because there are fires, there's weather, there's a ton of things that happens before that seed becomes the sequoia.
Mm-hmm.
And our lives are very similar in that regard when you think through like, you know, I pioneered a thing
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like something's snatching that thing and then
Man.
repurposing it in a way and it's
Yeah.
getting all the stuff. But it's
Yeah.
like, well, that might just be a small brush fire that builds the kind of resilience
Mm.
necessary to become the sequoia,
Right.
you know? And often in the studying, it's like obviously people are going to refer to others as the next such and such.
Sure.
But in reality, you really are going to be the first you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some precedence to say, oh, well, again, like when Zion came into the league, it's like, well, who's he going to be like?
Yeah.
Who's his career going to be
Yeah.
like? It's like, well, it's going to be like his.
Yeah.
Like you can compare it, but there's so many variables. It can be as big or as small as his decisions allow it, as his
Mhm.
choices
Yeah.
allow it to be. And to, again, especially for NIL athletes, because it really is top of mind for me in regards to like a lot of the personal brand stuff, because a lot of them are gonna run into this, like, all I know is football.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Mhm.
Or for many of them who, Jameis Winston came out and talked about how much money he was spending
I
and didn't
know, his
realize was
family.
going out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. A lot of people will run through that. Some of them spend it all and then go, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
But to just think through that and go like, hey, your story is going to be a factor of all the choices that
Mhm.
you make,
Yeah.
and to understand the opportunities that you have in front of you
Yeah.
so that you make the best choices to create the kind of environment that gives you like the most options possible.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say this too. I think we kind of ended on this on our last podcast. Is for the ones who are playing, keep a good relationship with your agent.
Mm.
I think like I told you either off camera and stuff. Like my first agent, I fired. I think for a reasonable
Mm-hmm.
reasons why I did. I got a new agent, and unfortunately, I wasn't as successful with the new agent because I only had him for when I was with Detroit, which I didn't really prosper there.
Yeah.
And now being done, I don't have a bad relationship with him, but not enough where he's
Mhm.
like, hey, this opportunity is open for you where you can do this.
Yeah.
And my first one thing I did appreciate about him, even when he was recruiting me, I saw how he always stayed in touch with old players of his.
Mm.
It was never just secluded to while they're making him money.
Yeah.
And that's not, again, the new agent guy. That's not to say that he does that, but like the new agent I got, he loves golf.
Yeah.
He loves Jesus, but would not help me out in this space at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, and because there was a situation I got a PGA Tour player on. It was my first one. The episode did not go well at all. We had so many trials with that.
Mm.
But I'm understanding, like, when I asked him, can you reach out to that guy? He never did.
Mm.
He never did. And I don't know, it's because when I first started, it's like he doesn't have the status to help you grow or like that. So he didn't want to ask him. The PGA Tour player just opened his DM and agreed. And I was super happy that he did. And
Yeah.
I do want that rematch with him because, like, the quality. Because right now I have routine stability where, like, the quality of my work is now the quality of my work.
Yeah.
At that time, I think I was on a cloud nine. Like, yo, PGA Tour player, I'm gonna just hire a local camera crew, and they were horrible. But in me saying all that, you know, any athlete or current athlete listening to this, man, like, just keep a relationship with your agent post football. Because I see how a lot of agents are still in their players' lives, and they help them significantly when it comes to, like, new opportunities and stuff that they want to drive. Because for me, like, mine won't, because I didn't build that relationship with him enough to get those opportunities.
How would you describe, like, how does somebody, one, find a good agent? What makes a good agent? And how does the business relationship with an agent and a player work? Like, especially in this day and age with NIL.
Yep.
Do you need an agent, or is it more like now you need to build a team? Like, you need a manager, business manager.
I think those,
or is it different?
I think they're pretty different. Some people have managers, some people have agents, some people have both. I think you still need to build a team, but your agent is one that's very crucial. And you want to find an agent that is selfless and willing to serve you. Obviously, when you make money, they make money. But again, you don't want them to have a selfish desire, because you don't want them to be like, hey, the biggest contract is if you go to the 49ers, but you'll have longevity if you go to the Rams. And they can be like, you know what, I want to make this money. You know what, go to the 49ers. When it's like, hey, man, I care about your longevity. I think you'll play more here, which will help extend money later on. Let's take less money. Let's go to the Rams.
Yeah.
Some agents are selfish, and they'll try to get a big payday, and then once you don't pan out, they just move on to the next guy.
Do you know what the percentages and stuff like that look like? Can you talk to them?
I don't know. I don't know the numbers for sure, but you know of stories like that where you know, agents send guys that have options. Some players only have one option. It's like, I guess I'll go here. But some agents just try to get their payday because it looks good for them statistically. Like, I got so and so paid 4 year, you know, $20 million. When in reality, if you went and got 4 year 11, he would have re-upped in his second year and probably got 5 year 60 or something like that. Those aren't like some players' actual numbers, but like those stories happen. So you want to find an agent that's selfless. You want to find one with good character. I mean, when you look for an agent and they're recruiting you, it's dating, bro. It's essentially dating. And you want to find one that's yoked to you and is going to service you and has the best interest in you. And while also like having a grind for the interest of themselves, but they're putting you before themselves. And
like, it's really a partnership more than employment, or how would you describe that?
It's a combination of both, because you are partners, but he works for you. Yeah, he works for you. But I just that's one thing I kind of think about all the time. Like, man, I wish I had a really, really good relationship with, you know, my last agent, because again, the qualities he has as loving Jesus, loving golf, there's a way you can service me. Like, as an agent, man, you have certain guys in the NFL that you represent that love golf and Jesus, that you can be like, hey, in the time in the off season, why don't you go do my boy Geremy channel? I don't think he would do that, because I was only in camp with the Lions, and I didn't ever like really make money for him. And then when I was done, it was like almost our relationship was done. Like we're cordial and stuff like that, but not to the point where it's like, hey, can you service me with this? I don't think he would do that, unfortunately.
So even now, like in college, just, I mean, again, I think people forget sometimes that business is a people endeavor, not a product endeavor. And so even when you think about the agent-player relationship, often players are treated like products, right? Described as assets. They're line items on a balance sheet. And so if it's like, if we're spending this money, we need to make sure we get this return on investment. And that, I think, is the sort of problem with some of capitalism, if not all of it. But for those who remember that business, which is just about everything, you know, is an interaction between people and the exchange of value. Then, like build the relationship first.
Right.
Because I don't know, like when you look at LeBron's story,
Mm-hmm.
he had an agent, but Maverick Carter did an interview with the CEO or founder of Vice, and he talks about how LeBron brought him into his sort of business dealings and environment. Maverick was already a smart dude, and he was handling his own. He had a position at Nike. He was doing some stuff there, and he learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably brought that insight and expertise to LeBron. But what he was seeing and learning was still new.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes, and again, I haven't, and I want to go find, this is the thing about studying.
Yeah.
I want to go find what Rich Paul did. Where was he before he became this sort of super agent?
Yeah.
Right. Because he does talk about that. He's like, I'm not looking necessarily for the best payout for the athlete. I want to find the best fit. So when you're thinking about longevity, it's like, hey, if they give you a 3-year 12,
yep.
That might be better, than a 4-year 50.
Yeah.
Because of the environment, the people, the culture, the coach, the other players, the city.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are and your tendencies, maybe the vices, the temptations, like, man, you might want to be in a small market.
Yeah.
Because if you go to LA,
oh man,
or if you go to Atlanta,
York,
it's just like, if you go to New York, there's some of these places where it's just like, hey, and again, typically I'm talking to Christians, like people who are saying, hey, I want to be in this space and follow God while I'm here.
Yeah.
And I want to honor God in this marketplace, like in this part of the marketplace. And, the sports world, pro sports is crazy,
sure.
right? You talking about candy store is open always.
Yeah.
You get all the choices.
Yeah.
There's nothing holding you back.
Right.
Temptation is on another level.
Man.
And so for guys, they're going to be your traditional agents. I used to do some work with Vayner Sports.
Oh yeah.
And the way some of the guys that I would encounter on the Vayner Sports side, the way they would talk about like their relationship with the athletes and the things they would talk about and joke about, I'm just like, yeah, maybe a lot of athletes are fine with that. I know there are a lot of athletes who are like, that's not really where I'm trying to go.
Right.
And if you're young enough, you don't know the difference,
right?
right? You probably grew up in church and you want to live a certain way and follow God in this space. But if you have an agent like that, it's like, yeah, let them take you and like go with them to the, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're young, like it's cool. It's like, that doesn't have to be the way. There are other places that have just as good a time, if not better, that develops you both as a player and as a person.
Right.
That will lead to much better longevity
for sure
and health for both your mind, your body, and your spirit. And I'm like, I wonder, those guys might be a new age of agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, is there space, like for young guys to be considering, like, yo, you don't have to sign with the traditional agent. Like, there's opportunity to create something new, like LeBron did.
I mean, it's possible for sure. Like, obviously, I've been out of that space for so long now. I don't really know how it's evolving. I mean, I know my little brother, who's been a dog at Tennessee, probably will be a freshman All-American, so shout out to him. But I know in both our primes, I'll route him up, let him know that right now. But I'm not sure how that's evolving for him and his team that he has formulated. Me and my brother have the same personality. We're so content. It's just like,
Man.
But
godliness with contentment is
a great game. Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yes, First Timothy 4. Wait, it's First Timothy 6. I
don't.
Yeah, ballpark around.
I'm not the best at the references. I just remember
I believe it's First Timothy 6. I believe, but
might be 6. Yeah, it might be First Timothy 6.
Yeah, I think it's 6:6. But
I was gonna say 6:5, but Anyways,
but yeah. So, but it's funny while you were talking about that. Talking about sports. They're talking about George Pickens. There's a lot of debate, like, should he just sign with Dallas? Is you in a good spot?
He been balling.
Or do you go to this whole new market and become one of the highest paid receivers, but now you're in a worse environment? Only place I think I won't say only place because he's a dog, he can go anywhere, be successful. Buffalo would be a good spot for him.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's like, do you stay in Dallas where you have a good core? It's not cold. The NFC East seems to be dwelling a little bit. So, I think Dallas has got some good pieces with Quentin Williams, the middle linebacker from Cincy.
And Dallas is a good city.
It's a good city, so it's like so in that scenario, it's like George Pickens. Do you stay in Dallas and take less money, still good money, or do you go break the bank? And it's like this situation is a little tougher here.
I mean, I would compare the two numbers. Like if I were his, I'd be like,
yeah,
what,
whenever those numbers come
I'd
out,
be like, well, what are
sure.
the two numbers?
Yeah,
And what difference? Because there's an idea called the law of diminishing returns. At a certain point, it's like what really are you getting? Like if it's 200 versus 220 or something like that,
And it also depends on what state you're playing in, all that type of stuff. Taxes,
sure, taxes, all that stuff, which is
in-
lower in Texas.
In Dallas, yeah.
But you start to think again. It's going to get back to the question of like, what do you want your life to look like?
For sure.
And again, for Christians, I'm saying, let's just think about what you want your life to be. What do you want your life after the sport to look like? And is there a big difference between the two?
Yeah.
Right. And then start the conversation from there,
Yeah.
But again, when these young guys are starting to be approached by money guys who are using terms and, language, and again, these are savvy dudes who are smart. They know sales, coming to your parents and trying to hit those emotional buttons, just having those guys more equipped. Again, it always, because again, if you have the godliness with great contentment, that alone puts you in a state where you don't want. There's this idea of like wealth is what you have minus what you want, and that gap is something around that's like wealth equals what you, is it grateful? The idea of like what you have minus what you want, right? And if you're content, then you come into a conversation not wanting a lot. So when money guys come in and start using all these words, you can have more of a sober mind to go, that's great. Let's have a conversation about it. And you don't jump at the first big number that you see.
Yeah.
You just stay focused on the sport or the craft that, again, God has given you the talent for.
Yeah.
Right. And then build a team around you that helps you make a wise decision.
Yeah.
Whether that be family, good friends who have experience, maybe not specifically in the sports side, but at least enough to hear a conversation, have some discernment, and say, okay, yeah, let's choose an agent together, so you know you're protected and you have someone who's really advocating for you.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I think, and again, I'm only referencing my brother because I know him, but I think that's like I said, when I first came out, I was like the test dummy, not dummy, but like, okay, we never been part of this agent thing. Like, we never been a part of this. So now what my brother's doing, there's more of a routine understanding and stuff like that. But I think my mom and his father have been by his side when it comes to like talking to agents and
no, it's great.
Like that. My whole thing with my brother is to make sure you make that decision. Don't let anybody else in the family make that decision for you.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I think my brother will do that. But I think just for any athlete, I'm just wrestling my brother. Like, you want your family to affirm your decision, but if not, go with your conviction. You're an adult now. But like you said, study that agent. See, have you ever been fired before? Okay, I saw this in an article about like this player doing this. How'd you handle that situation? Who are some of the successful players you've had? Who are some that you haven't? Like, ask those hard pressing questions, because like in reality, you want a relationship with your agent to be a marriage. Like I said, when your lifestyle changes, like, is your agent still going to love you unconditionally? He's still going to service you. Now, obviously, like I say this lightly, you're less important because he still has other players to manage, but he still cares enough about you. Like, you know what? I see you want to start this new, drink company. I know the guy who started Body Armor. I'll put you in contact with him. And you want your relationship with agents to be a marriage, man. You really do. You don't want their stature of your life to change and then your agent change on you, man. So that's one thing I wish I had. Like, the reason I fired my first agent made sense to do so. But now with the new one I didn't play long enough with him. There, it's just like, not going to service me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Just to sort of wrap up,
For sure.
I wonder, is there one sort of final thought or kind of nugget or yeah, piece of advice? I didn't want to really say advice,
Yeah, I
but
know. Yeah.
again, a lot of young athletes, a lot of them entering the space. The idea of the personal brand and building your own platform, the internet's made that way more possible. So everybody's got personalities now.
Yeah.
Everybody's more visible than they've ever been.
Mm.
Um, what would you say to young athletes to put themselves in the best position for whatever's going to come next?
For sure. This answer might not sound sexy, but like die to your ego.
Mm.
Um, like I mentioned earlier before, a lot of guys will maybe have a rough freshman year. And then like I'm in the portal, it's like, bro, you're probably supposed to be in that spot. You just had a bad freshman year. Like before NIL transfer portal, like we had to learn how to thug that thing out and
Mhm.
make the best of our situation. Um, so I think guys need to learn how to die to their ego, man. And I think when it's if you're like in your third year and you haven't got significant playing time, enter the portal. But like don't have an ego that if something happens, like, well, I can just go somewhere else. It's like learn how to fight through adversity, bro. Because you're gonna go through it post sports as well. And there's no transfer portal in life. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to learn how to figure that out. So
That's facts.
learn how to practice those things now, die to your ego, and have more of a dependency on the sovereign one, which is obviously the Lord Jesus Christ. So that would be my quick tidbit nugget and advice, even though we won't use that word, for people watching.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah.
There's an idea that often the reason people don't succeed is that they just didn't stick around long enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so give yourself time to succeed.
Yeah. It's like those pictures of the dude who's digging for diamonds.
Yeah.
He like, I'm tired of doing this. He was like 2 more digs from
You
getting
just
the
quit.
diamonds.
You just quit
But
too
the one
soon.
dude just kept grinding and grinding, and then he saw his fruits. So
Yeah.
yeah, great point. I'm just backing up what you just said. That's good.
Yeah, no, I'm reinforcing what you said. Like,
Yeah.
just stay in it and give yourself time to develop. Don't jump to the transfer portal. Don't jump to the next thing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, success is just on the other side of hard.
Yeah. Have wisdom about it if you were to do it. Like I said, if you're in that
Sure.
situation, like new coaching staff, they're not giving me opportunity at quarterback, it's probably best I go in the portal. Then yeah, but don't just do it just to do it. Because I know wrapping up, but like the whole situation with the UCLA quarterback leaving Tennessee,
Yeah.
such a bad predicament now,
Yeah.
bro.
Don't transfer because it's a trend.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He would have had a good thing at Tennessee. But hey, I hope people can learn from that. When we're talking about studying other things, learn from that situation. Yeah, absolutely.
that's great. All right, man. That's the pod.
Appreciate you having me, dog.